Hey everyone! Today we're diving into some seriously misguided LLC advice that's causing major headaches for small business owners. I've seen these mistakes way too often, and it's time to set the record straight. So let me start with probably the biggest misconception I keep seeing on social media. You know those TikTok gurus telling everyone to form their LLC in Wyoming or Delaware because that's what the big companies do? Well, that advice is actually causing huge problems for small business owners. The thing is, most small businesses should actually form their LLC in the state where they're physically operating. I mean, if you're running a coffee shop in California, setting up a Wyoming LLC isn't going to magically save you thousands in taxes. In fact, it'll probably cost you more because you'll need to register as a foreign LLC in California anyway. Now, here's another piece of terrible advice I keep hearing. Don't bother with an operating agreement if you're a single-member LLC. Actually, this couldn't be more wrong. You see, an operating agreement is basically your business's constitution. It's not just about managing multiple members. It's about protecting your personal assets and establishing your business as a legitimate separate entity. Let me tell you about another major mistake I'm seeing. A lot of people are using their home address as their registered agent address because someone online told them it would save money. But here's the real deal. Your registered agent's address becomes public record. That means anyone can look it up, and suddenly your home address is out there for everyone to see. This is actually where I recommend using a service like Northwest Registered Agent. They provide professional registered agent service and keep your personal information private. Plus, they're really good at what they do. No automated systems or overseas call centers, just real experts who know their stuff. Okay, so this next one is a big one. I keep seeing experts telling everyone to elect S Corporation status for their LLC right from day one. But you know what? That's not always the best move. The thing is, while S Corp status can save some businesses money on self-employment taxes, it also comes with additional costs and complications. Basically, you need to be making enough profit, usually at least $75,000 annually, for the tax savings to outweigh the extra costs of payroll and accounting requirements. For most new businesses, staying with the default tax classification makes more sense at first. Now, let me address something that's causing a lot of problems: those $5 LLC formation templates you can find online. Look, I'm all for saving money, but using generic templates you found on some random website is asking for trouble. Every state has different requirements, and every business has unique needs. This is another reason why I recommend using a reliable formation service, like Taylor Brands. They'll make sure your formation documents are properly prepared and filed correctly the first time. Plus, they include customized operating agreements that actually match your business structure and state laws. Here's a dangerous piece of advice I keep seeing. Once you have an LLC, you don't need business insurance. Well, that's just plain wrong. You see, an LLC protects you from some types of liability, but it's not a complete shield. Your LLC won't protect you from professional mistakes, accidents, or other common business risks. And then there's this gem. It's okay to mix personal and business finances as long as you track everything. No, no, and no again. This is probably one of the fastest ways to pierce your LLC's corporate veil and lose your liability protection. You absolutely need a separate business bank account and clear financial boundaries. Another piece of horrible advice floating around is that you can just form your LLC and forget about it. But actually, most states require annual reports and fees to maintain your LLC's good standing. Miss these requirements, and your LLC could be administratively dissolved. So let's talk about what all this bad advice is really costing small business owners. First, there's the obvious financial cost, like paying twice for LLC registration because you followed that Wyoming advice. Then there's the time wasted fixing preventable problems. But perhaps worst of all is the false sense of security that comes from thinking you're protected when you're actually vulnerable. Well, here's what you should actually do. First, work with legitimate sources of information: your state's business formation website, qualified legal professionals, or reputable LLC formation services like Taylor Brands or Northwest Registered Agent. These services typically cost between $300 and $500, but they'll help you avoid costly mistakes. The thing is, forming an LLC isn't just about filing some paperwork. It's about creating a solid legal foundation for your business. That means getting the basics right: proper formation documents, a solid operating agreement, compliant registered agent service, separate banking, and appropriate insurance coverage. If you found this information helpful, make sure to like and subscribe for more small business tips. And hey, drop a comment below if you have questions about forming your LLC the right way. Thanks for watching, and remember, your business deserves better than bad advice from social media.